Welcome, viewers. This is Faiz Talk with Faiz, the show where we explore a vibrant world of music, and we're here with Rela to talk about artistry, to talk about music, and to talk about the journey so far. In this episode, I've been trying to catch up to Rela for quite a while. It's been difficult to hold down, but in this series, we'll talk about the artistry journey, and we'll talk about his lifestyle, the studio recording and everything. So with me here is Rela.
Thank you very
Welcome,
much
Rela.
for having me. Very excited to be here. I'm very excited to show more of myself, actually, through a conversation. This is my first podcast, that would be probably on YouTube or put out there on IG and TikTok. So I'm excited. I'll tame my mouth.
Well, before we dive into, like I said, we're all here to talk about the career and artistry journey. We'll take a deep dive into his creative and technical aspects as well. Also going into his personal insights along with the industry and his business. Welcome, Rela, once again. Like I
Thank you
said,
very much.
this is Talk with Faiz. I'm a music enthusiast and a passionate audiophile. Before we go in straight, can you just tell us about yourself, Rela? Just give us, the viewers want to know, who is Rela? We've heard so much about Rela.
I'm Rela, a music recording art. I'm based in the UK, but I'm Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria and raised in Nigeria, and raised in Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria. And then, she's been living in the UK for about 3 years now, and just focusing on myself as an artist, as a recording artist.
Yeah.
Exciting journey so far.
So can you share with us, how did you get into music? What prompted you to go into music?
Funny thing is, I've actually been doing music all my life, but in different forms. So, as a teenager, I was a drummer, right? So there was this time where in Nigeria, a lot of Pentecostal churches were paying drummers, instrumentalists. People were not just doing it to serve God.
Yeah.
People were getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So I was one of those, that boom. I was, good at what I used to do then as a drummer. So I used to go to churches, get played. So I got into the music so much. Had a lot of choirs I was working with, was doing a lot of technical songs, just enjoying the music.
Right.
And then even to my university days, then I became a DJ. So I was DJing in parties, my friends would have a party, they would call me in clubs and all that. And then along the line, I just, became more comfortable writing my own songs. And, I just focused on that really.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
So who would you say is your biggest inspiration? Who's your biggest role model into music? Who dragged you into the music industry?
Who dragged me, it might be different from who's my role model now.
Yeah.
But who dragged me, I can only remember when we were young, me and my elder brother, we got this CD of Star Plus.
Oh, interesting.
So he used to sing, if you know Star Plus, he used to sing Shifi's parts. I used to like Tunde, oh my God.
It's quite interesting. Star Plus is
Star Plus, yeah. So, Olufumi, yeah. So that was how I really got into like secular music. So my type of music really born from that is like R&B, soul, something soulful and melodious, yeah. And I think that inspiration, when I really look back, is from them, really. It's funny, I'm sure people will be like, is this a Gen Z guy? Why were your inspiration with Star Plus? But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's super. Honestly, that is. I used to love Star Plus back in the day as well.
Oh, interesting. Did you use the alliance, those babe?
Yeah.
We all did.
Yeah. So, what would you say? What is the first song you wrote, and how do you feel about it right now?
The first song that I wrote, that I put out, I guess, is Fadikemi. And I actually think that a lot of people still know me for Fadikemi. Which is actually like, it's good and a bad thing because you know that you've done some more work. Of course, a lot of more people have popped up with the new work, new followers, new fans. But like, some people still just know me for Fadikemi as the Fadikemi crooner. So yeah, the single did quite well, like, versus my expectations, because it was my first one. I just wanted to put it out and have fun, which is what I'm always doing in my songs anyway. Of course, it's business and, I want to grow and all that, but personally, I want to ensure that I'm always having fun. I'm always happy with my life. I don't want to be that music artist that end up being sad because there are too many, factors, that's not giving you breathing space. So, I just dropped it to enjoy myself. It popped up. I performed in the club in Derby. People were singing along. I was like, whoa.
Well, so how do you feel about it right now? I mean, I'm sure you've released so many songs after that.
I've got like three after.
Yeah.
Fadikemi is still one of my for me, it's still one of my, I won't say biggest, but my profound, one of my profound one.
I love
Really.
Friday Came as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got Let Them Know as well. I've got everything. I've got Superstar that I love so much. So, all of them are just.
So dialing back, let's go into the technical aspect
Mm.
now. How do you write the song? Do you start with the lyrics? What do you start with? Do you start with the melody, or what is it? How do you start the music? I'm curious. Our viewers are curious to know.
I wanted to say that I start with my ego. So I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But really, I think that for me, beat motivates me a lot. So I like to always talk to my producers, always be on conversations with them. Okay, what's the new thing popping? Check out for their stuff. Oh, I like this one. Then they get it in, and then I just try to write to it, and then just do a demo really fast. So for me, it's a bit of a spontaneous process most times. Just writing as much as possible, recording, just having demos, in my files, just be able to pick from them when it's time to maybe drop the EP.
So the melodies come first before the lyrics. What do you say?
Yeah, the melodies come first before the lyrics, but you have to really know what you want to talk about in the song, don't you?
Right.
Yeah, because it comes first, but you just have to know what you want to talk about, what the theme of the song is really,
Yeah.
and then, sure.
So can you briefly walk us through the day of a life of Rela in the studio? What do you do when you go into the studio? How do you start? What do you do? What's happening? Just tell us.
I just get comfortable first. We just have drinks, speak to the producers, we just share visions. We just share like a common goal, what we want to achieve on the studio session. Because most times when I go into like a proper studio, like with a proper producer, what I mean a proper producer, maybe like a producer that has a name and all that. I already have my demo, so I'm not really going in to start afresh and start writing. You understand what I'm saying? I already have my demo. I've done the song before. I just want to do it better, maybe a final version. So it's basically just to maybe play the first version. We just have drinks and we just, just share the vision of the song, and then we just start to implement it. Really, just.
And as we all know that the world is ever changing, how do you keep up with the trends? Because obviously, the song that comes out last year might not be the same appetite. People appetite keep changing of music. I mean, people want more music. So how do you get innovative in that aspect?
Well, that's a very, very good question, I would say. But I would also say that it's also how do I keep myself fresh? I think that's like the first thing. How do I keep myself fresh in line with like the newer factors? Even in terms of like the business, in terms of like navigating the business, the new factors, the new technologies. Then in terms of the music in itself, the music has to grow, like just listening to new things all the time, listening to maybe the people shaking the direction of, the culture at that time, and, learning from them, not feeling too good to learn or too, whatever to learn, and just, taking elements of what's new and, adding that to your ideas. It's just a blend of many things, really. But most importantly, is also growing as an individual, like growing to always be a modern person. When you always strive to be a modern person, I just feel like it will affect every aspect of what you do. You always just want to be modern. If the new thing is everyone's trying to get 6 packs, because that's what girls like, then fuck, we're getting it tomorrow. You know what I
Well,
mean? You know what
I
I'm
do
saying?
remember one time we had a conversation where
Yeah.
we're talking about discography and
Yeah.
all. I mean, those are new words to me back in the day.
Okay.
Before, obviously, you were talking about discography. Is
Yeah.
it discography?
Yeah,
What-
discography, yeah.
Discography, and
Yeah.
you were telling this is how you move on. That's really interesting and that's really insightful for me.
Yeah, thank you. I have a big vision for my discography, really. I want to, like, actually don't, I'm not all vibes. People really think I'm all vibes because of songs like Farikemi, Latifa, Sherifa, they want to follow me. So people think I'm all vibes. But if you listen to songs like Superstar, you would see more of my story. You would see more of what I want to share with my music. And you would sort of grab the kind of audience that I'm speaking to. And the kind of audience I'm talking to with my music are like young guys that only had good parenting and no money, and then had big visions. Good parenting, zero money, big vision. So imagine the hurdle. You go through many things, you fuck up so many times, you make so many mistakes. So those are the kind of people that I feel like my music speaks to and I want to attract. So songs like Let Them Know, even though it's a dance song, it still speaks to, what it is for me and the kind of people I want to attract.
And that goes into the next category where we talk about your personal insights.
Okay.
And you've touched that also. How does music affect your personal life, and how do you want to influence? Already you talked about that. How do you want to influence the young kids, the people that want want to be inspired by
Yeah,
Rela?
yeah. It's actually very, very important for me to make sure I leave a legacy. The truth is, I don't know how big this will get, what I'm doing. I have big dreams, definitely. But of course, everything is not dependent on me. I'm going to work so hard every day to achieve what's in my head. And I'm definitely, you know, I definitely have all it takes to go all the way, I believe. So I just need God's grace, in this journey. But yeah, I really want to leave a mark and a legacy. And I want people to feel I feel like some of my songs are like the code to self-esteem for young men. It might sound funny, but like, as a young man, if you have resilience and you have like some grit, I think you just go all the way. Look at stubborn people. Stubborn people don't stop. But the only thing is that you don't get killed and you don't end up in jail because you're stubborn.
Yeah.
Because you would ruin your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if you are stubborn in like the right direction, which is not always possible because you're going to make some wrong decisions just being stubborn. But the truth is that if you're resilient enough to resist many things, because people will try to shame you, people will try to downplay what you're doing, people will try to price you down, all of those things. But if you are stubborn enough to say, no, I know my words and I'm going to push it as far as possible to see this come to reality, then I think you'll be fine, really. There's so many distractions, especially now in this social media age. There's so many people that I won't say do not have the substance, but like are just really all vibes. And yeah, you can be all vibes, but we would really want to leave a mark, really. Yeah.
Super. Somebody asked me a question a couple of weeks ago, and it's like, oh, what is Rela's favorite song? What is my own favorite song? I told them, oh, I love Let Them Know, because I feel that's a mark of this is Rela, and I want the world to know this is me and this is my music. So what is your favorite song?
My favorite is actually Superstar. It's funny.
And why? Why do you choose Superstar? Why?
Superstar, because I feel I said a lot in the song. I went from the first verse was about sort of like a breakup story. Shorty never tell me rewind that. Every time she wants me to decline that, then all of a sudden she started the phone for me. So it basically just life and girls, really, isn't it? Which is like a big part of a man's life. But yeah, then money, then the hustle. I just spoke about a whole lot. I said some very, very personal things. So please listen to the song. It's called Superstar.
No,
I think it's my favorite.
Good. Well, for me, it's I think Let Them Know. I keep saying that.
Okay, Let Them Know is cool as well.
It's cool. It's cool. Really cool. So just going back into creativity, and with writers, you look at writers, they get writer's block, and we call it creative slump, where the ideas stop to come. So how do you deal with that?
It's a conflict because the truth is, if you get too comfortable, you won't be able to write. You won't be able to do anything. You need experiences to write. You need experiences to wake something up inside of you that you want to write about. So that's why artists always live on the edge, really. And so sometimes when I'm too comfortable, I find an uncomfortable situation just so I can write. Like maybe my relationship is too stable. I'm like, I need some drama, girl. Give me some drama so I can write. I'm just joking. But how I get to write is just seeking new experiences, because there will be nothing to say if you have nothing your soul is yearning for. You know what I mean? If you have nothing your soul is passionate about, there will be nothing to say. So if you look at everything I speak about in my music, it's still around a theme that you can say that this is what this person is yearning about in his soul. This is like his inner child. So if you always have that, the inner child is at play, there's always drama left and right. Yeah. You look right, it looks like you want to fall down. You would write, trust me. So yeah, I just feel like the experience is big, and then of course, just keep growing and keep, yeah.
Going into the music industry, I know it's a large industry, and since you started, a lot of things have changed. Yeah. So how do you cope with those changes, and how do you adapt to those changes, and how do you feel about those changes? I mean, you released Fadekemi 3 years ago. So I know a lot has happened within the music industry. Yeah. So how do you cope? How do you adapt?
I can't even sit here and say that I know it all. I'm an independent artist that's trying to figure it out every day. But for now, with the big picture, sorry, can you ask your question again? I'm sorry.
So how do you adapt to the changes within the music industry?
Yeah, so the changes within the industry, I think we've actually said something like this before. Yeah. But it's really just to be ready to take new directions for me. I don't want to be that guy that is boxed and doing a style, although it's good if a style works for you, but I want to be able to creatively express myself on anything, like any genre, even at the end of the day, not just Afrobeats. So, and that's why I do a lot of covers, just to stretch myself, to say, if you were this artist, what would you say on this song? What would you do? What kind of vibe would you drop? So I'm always stretching myself to see how I can do new things. And if there's always new things in your head, I feel like it's just tallies with the direction that the world is always going. The world just want to go more modern, more modern. So I just feel like if there's always new ideas, you would always be fine. I feel so.
I know we talked about this, but again, there are young, aspiring artists that
Yeah.
want to break into the industry. The industry is not easy to get into.
Yeah.
What's your advice? How do people break into the industry? What would be your
I actually
advice?
don't really believe in like breaking into the industry, to be very honest.
Yeah.
And the way I see myself, I don't even really see myself like belonging to an industry. How I see myself is I'm a music art with a music sort of like with a community of my own. Not necessarily, yes, there's an industry that I'd always have to work with
Yeah.
or work within. But I'm not trying to say, oh, if I never have a song with an Afrobeat art, I won't be fine. I just feel like the main thing for me really is to be able to, put my message out there, make money really, and, just be free. And just create more and more and just be free. I don't even like, when people say things like, all of the factors that people use to measure artists. Like I don't really like numbers. I don't really like all those things. When I meet that one soul that is crazy, when I have people that like maybe someone called me lately on the phone. I'm serious, this is a real story. Last week, and the person was like, "We checked out your music. It was lovely. So we're having an internal debate. Then the person now asked me, how much do you think you are worth right now?" That actually fucked up my brain. But I was like, good question, to be fair. But it fucked up my brain because I was like, I've never really, I've just really just been a happy person.
Yeah.
Just doing my music, getting some money out of it, just wanting to make more, to double the numbers, to add zero. But yeah, just being happy and being free. I never really thought, oh, this kind of conversation is happening. I might be signed to someone one day. Sometimes it scares me. Trust me, I don't want to be that guy that ends up thinking about, oh, I have to drop 2 albums for these guys. Oh, I have to make this money for them. They've already done the numbers on papers. I'm not saying I would never sign to a label. I'm just saying that like I just want to be free always. I'll be happy to do my music. I'll be fresh.
Just so before you go, one more question is for me is, can you share one of the most memorable moment for you performing music or in a club or writing the music? What is the most memorable moment so far?
Good question. The most memorable moments will be times when people from nowhere have just come to me and said that, guy, your music is good. I think that those things really hit, but people don't know how much it hits because when they say it, they just say it out of like personal or they enjoy the music. But like to the artists, I don't know if like very, very big artists are still like crazy about those kind of things. But like me, I probably get it like maybe twice a week or something.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then, someone just, hits me up and says that your music is really great. Sends a love emoji. Like a guy, just saying that guy, love, bro, that kind of thing. Even sometimes like, babes too. And, it's just lovely, really. You just feel very appreciated beyond whatever money. Just people telling you that your music is good. People telling you that they listen and they were happy. And just came out with a good experience. It's satisfying.
Well, let me just share a story. I remember when we went to a show in Derby. It was
Okay.
quite good, and it was for me. I felt that was the
What show was
hallmark.
that?
I think it was in the. I can't remember the name of the show. To be
Okay.
fair, it's been a while now.
Okay.
But it was really good, and it tells more about who you are as a person and who you are as a musician as well. So
What do you mean who I am as a person? Sorry.
who you are as a person,
What does that mean?
Rela.
Okay.
Really, it's been a nice time to chat with Rela.
Thank you
There you
very
go,
much.
viewers. This is all the questions I've got. Thank you very much, and Rela, for your time. Like I
you
said,
very
I've been
much.
trying to catch you, but you seem to be slipping away. You're just like a snake, always on the move. Thank you very
I've
much.
really enjoyed myself. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Rela. Subscribe to Talk with Faiz. Thank you. Bye.